Keir Starmer and Reeves are ringing the recession alarm bells, and it's no wonder confidence across the UK has taken a nosedive. Labour's constant warnings of a painful October budget, packed with tax hikes and welfare cuts, have sent consumer and business confidence spiralling downwards. According to the latest GfK Consumer Confidence Barometer, confidence plunged to -20 in September, marking a sharp 7-point drop. The public isn't just anxious, they're panicking. The talk of winter fuel payments being cut and higher taxes coming down the line has millions bracing for financial hardship, particularly the 9 million pensioners who've had their winter fuel payments slashed. But it's not just ordinary folks feeling the heat, businesses are sounding the alarm too. The Lloyds Bank Business Barometer shows business optimism has dropped to its lowest level since the general election. A surge in confidence earlier this year, sparked by solid economic growth, has evaporated thanks to Labour's bleak rhetoric. CEOs and boardrooms across the country are putting investment plans on hold, waiting for the economic storm that Starmer seems intent on brewing. Richard Walker, the CEO of Iceland, isn't holding back. He's publicly blamed the sharp drop in consumer spending on Labour's relentless doom and gloom messaging. His company's traffic dropped by 9% the moment Starmer started preaching economic pain. And it's not just the retail sector feeling the pinch. KPMG's UK Financial Services Sentiment Survey reveals that 3/4 of business leaders in finance expect Starmer's budget to significantly impact their operations, especially if Labour follows through on sector-specific tax increases like the notorious bank surcharges. So what exactly is Labour's plan? According to Reeves, it's about tackling the £22 billion black hole they claim the Tories left behind, with tax hikes expected to cover nearly half of it. But insiders are questioning whether this apocalyptic rhetoric is overblown. Some even suggest Starmer and Reeves are playing a political game, overselling the pain now so when the budget drops it won't feel as bad. A classic case of expectation management? Maybe, but the damage to consumer confidence is already done. Even seasoned economists are unimpressed. Sir Philip Hampton, the former chairman of RBS, has warned that Labour's downbeat tone is having the opposite effect. It's strangling the animal instincts of businesses needed to drive investment and innovation. Businesses thrive on optimism, but when the message from the top is all doom and gloom, investment plans stall, jobs don't get created, and growth grinds to a halt. And the public, they're losing faith fast. The GfK report revealed double-digit drops in how consumers view the general economic situation and their willingness to make big purchases. Starmer's warnings about tightening the fiscal belt have spooked the average Briton, especially after the Bank of England's interest rate cuts should have offered a glimmer of hope. Inflation may have dropped to 2.2%, but that's cold comfort when the government is effectively telling you to brace for economic misery. But why is Labour so intent on this approach? Starmer and Reeves have made it clear that they want to rebuild Britain by tackling public finances head-on. They argue that the mess left by the Tories requires tough choices, but is this really necessary, or are they simply creating a self-fulfilling prophecy? Jagjit Singh Chadha, the director of the National Institute of Economic and Social Research, has questioned Labour's narrative, suggesting that instead of painful decisions, what the UK needs is bold leadership and an optimistic vision for growth. Critics are also pointing out the contradictions. On one hand, Reeves hints that the government could relax its own fiscal rules to prioritise investment. On the other, she's still talking up a budget that will see cuts to public services and taxes going up. Mixed messages much? If Labour really wants to unlock Britain's potential, why scare off investors, businesses, and consumers at the same time? The political optics aren't great either. As Starmer continues his cafe and pub tour of disaster, where he's faced with angry voters tearing into him for failing to live up to his Labour pledges, it's clear that he's struggling to win hearts on the ground. Just ask the angry Liverpudlian woman who recently grilled him over his abandonment of socialist principles. Starmer might want to rethink his public appearances because they're doing him no favours. So, what's next? Labour is set to deliver their much-anticipated budget at the end of October, but unless they change their messaging, the damage to the UK's economic confidence could be lasting. Starmer and Reeves need to stop playing the role of harbingers of financial doom and start acting like the leaders they claim to be. ones who inspire hope, not fear. The UK is waiting, Keir. Less talk of pain, more talk of progress. You promised to rebuild Britain. How about starting with the country's confidence?